that plurality. And I think if we can strengthen it and also perfect our electoral system, because to be honest with you, I am very much ashamed of INEC. I can't beat my chest that we have an electoral. INEC is supposed to be a driver in a bus. The driver forgot his role and is now seated inside the bus as a passenger. So who is going to move the bus? Nobody. So that is what INEC has done to this society, and it's very sad. You see, the political class, being humans that we are, every politician will always want to take to himself. But when you have an independent body that is supposed to be a supervisor, what they are supposed to do is to ensure that everything that is humanly possible to make the process credible is done on their part. But if you ask become a chess in the hands of politicians. That is what they are. We are just playing them like a chess game. And that's what is important is for them to stand up and ensure that the principles behind setting up INEC and the enabling laws put in place to strengthen INEC is implemented and adhered to strictly. But that is not what they are doing. That's not what INEC is doing. INEC is behaving like a weakling or a crippled person who needs help to walk or to move. That's not the way it should be. That's not the way it should be. They must be assertive. They've got to be aggressive. Because let me tell you, the credibility of an election is very key to electoral process. I mean, to democracy. Sorry. Credibility of election is very important to democracy. When the credibility of election is in doubt, then the entire democratic process becomes a sham.
Okay. Can you hear me, sir?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you very well. I don't know if you are hearing me.
I'm hearing you, sir. I'm hearing you, sir.
So it's important. It's like look at the larger society. There will always be a thief. But if the society goes to sleep and we don't do anything about it, then the rate of stealing will go up. That's the same thing with politicians and INEC. If INEC is not on top of their game, of course, the politicians will want to manipulate them. There's an agent in Yoruba. It makes a lot of sense. Man will allow you to do that to him? He won't. It's only a madman that you can easily manipulate to submit himself to that kind of thing. Because a wise person will have seen through whatever game you want to play up front. So that is why it's very important for INEC to wake up to their responsibilities to our society, not to the political class. Because they have a responsibility to all of us, both the political class. By now, all the electoral reforms that are needed, nobody is talking about it anymore. And INEC expects we politicians to be talking about it. It's not done. It is the INEC that should go to the mountain to and be shouting and get the support of the civil society. Get the support of the civil society to be shouting with them, put pressure on the political class for us to do the needful. Even today, as advanced as America is politically, you can see some of the games that President Trump is playing. As we are today in America, there is still electoral suppression. They still suppress votes of minorities just because some people want to win at all costs. It's the same thing all over the world. You are dealing with human, but it is of managing all these that must wake up to their responsibilities and get the support of the civil society and the general public to put sufficient pressure on the political class to do the needful. If we don't sanitize the political process, we are in trouble.
But sir, how about the players themselves, the politicians themselves? Are they really behaving?
Let me tell you. Let me give you a very good example. You know, in the Western world, they have traffic rules and regulations.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
And then you have lights, traffic lights, and these days you have cameras all over the world.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, if those cameras are not there, if the enforcement is not there, people will do, they are not different to us. So
it's true.
The Western people, they are not different. So if there are no enforcement and there is nobody who is in charge of ensuring that if you do crime, you will do time, they will do whatever they like, as we are doing here. It's natural for an average person to want to get away with as much as he can get away with. But it is the system that must curb that.
That's true. And
the political class have played their part. They have enacted laws that will limit their excesses. It is you that have the power of enforcing those laws that must stand up and be counted. If you want the political class to be the police, to be the judge, then nothing will get done. Because there is no way I would be in charge, I will be a governor today, and then I will work to lose the election myself. It's not possible.
Yeah.
If I'm going to lose, it is the system that will make it difficult for me. If the electoral system in place makes it impossible for me to read myself back into power, they will have succeeded in discharging their constitutional responsibilities. It's like two lawyers in court. One is defending somebody, the other one is the prosecutor. The defendant will do anything possible to free the client, even knowing fully well that the client has committed a crime. The lawyer will still pretend as if he didn't know the reality of what has happened. His interest will be to ensure that his client walks out free. And it is the job of the prosecutor to ensure that everything humanly possible is done to ensure that the guy does not get away with the crime committed. That is the way society is, except if we are deluding ourselves. We can't run away from the reality of life. We can't run away from the reality of life. And it's the same thing all over the world. It's the same thing. The difference is that there is enforcement. Those who have responsibility to supervise the conduct of politicians, they are up to their game. That's all.